Oh, okay. So we're live, and I want to be looking at something, so I want it to be, that's, I want to be able to see some of my screen. So let's test it. All right, well, YouTubers, here we are. First podcast, I guess, if that's what this is called. I'm going to say something about myself. Jerry Diamond. Not much to say, really. I'm a techno-tard. I've done a lot of studying, a lot of reading. I don't have a formal education. As I've come to say recently, I'm a nobody who's been nowhere and done nothing in life. So, for what it's worth, that won't appeal to all the people that are proud. So, hopefully, we won't have anybody that's proud listen to me. I only want the humble people. I have had a lot of really, really extremely intelligent people listen to me. Recently, a whole string of IT people from across the country. So, that says something. They contacted me, and we need to get together right now. And one guy said he said I was one of the top 15 Apple IT guys in the country, and if I moved to Austin, Texas tomorrow, I could make 10,000 times what I'm making right now. Pretty impressive. He said I couldn't bring myself to leave the Ozarks. I never knew why. Then I read your stuff. I know why now. So a lot of people like that, people in the international banking, international insurance industry, where they had to handle thousands of pieces of information. I mean, laws, customs, insurance policies, banking, currency exchange, hundreds and hundreds and even thousands and thousands of details. One man said he did business in 130 countries. He said opening one of your emails is like going to a 5-day seminar that takes, several weeks to digest. So, for what it's worth. For what it's worth, Putman, as Paul Harvey would say. I think I'll end right there. It's just a little bit of a thing. I'll test it and see how that goes and see if I can figure out how to work this operation. My wife suggested that I get a webcam, so I did. I know Pastor Joe Fox at Viking Preparedness does everything off of his iPhone, and I've done most of my podcasting off my iPhone, but I've tended to only video other things, and I want to be able to sit here and read and do stuff, and 90% of what I do is at my computer. Kind of somewhat of a hands-on guy, not a whole terribly lot. I mean, I'm more mental than physical, more strategic than tactical. It's just the way I am. It's the way I'm wired. I see things. I see a bigger picture than a lot of people, than 99.999% of the people, especially when it comes to the last stage in the geological construction of the United States. That's really what I've been led to specialize in, the Ozark Plateau. If you've seen any of my manifesto for the Ozark Plateau lecture I did. So I'm going to sign off here, YouTubers, and as always, have a nice day. No, that's FPS Russia. Can't take that one. I'm going to steal another one, though, I'm thinking about. This is for people that are listening and hearing. Okay? If you are listening to me, that doesn't mean you're hearing me. So, I want to say this. If you're listening and hearing, in the words of John Connor, if you hear my voice, you're part of the, and I'm not going to say resistance, you're part of the remnant. If you're hearing my voice, if it were, as it were, I was speaking to you in person, using your name. One woman wrote me, she said, I would not have been surprised if you had used my name. So, to Pamela and John and Robert and Georgia and all the various people that are listening to me across the country and even around the world, if you're hearing my voice as well as listening to me, if you can hear my voice and hear my words, you're part of the remnant. So everybody else, yeah, I've taken it. all kinds of heat, all kinds of insults. I've been called bat doo-doo crazy by one woman, and I said, well, you know, from you, I take that as a compliment. So, need to have some humor. Need to, as the Hopi elder said, take nothing seriously, most of all yourself, something to that effect. A lot of humor that we need to see. We need hope. We need humor. A lot of funny things are going to be happening, and maybe not funny, haha, but strange, eerie things. The old Chinese curse, I didn't learn this till years later. I was friends with the Vietnam vet, and he always said, keep your head down. But he also said, strange times, my friend. Strange times. And I found out that was an ancient Chinese curse. May you be born. And he said, interesting time. Interesting times, my friend. Interesting times, yeah. And that's an old Chinese curse. May you be born in interesting times, to which I say, we has been. Probably the most, well, you know, really with what's coming down the pike at us, the most interesting time in all of human history. There have been some fascinating ones. But I've read a lot of history, and it comes into play here, because if you don't know the past, you don't know the future. If you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. And the only thing we learn from the past is that we don't learn anything from the past. So, one more thing, I just have to give a huge shout out, and interrupted by the bell. Hang on.